Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, and fellow enthusiasts of SOCIUS 3.0, good morning and a very warm welcome to everyone gathered here today. In a world where silence is mistaken as weakness, macho-ness is mistaken as strength, the question to be or not to be takes on a new meaning when looking for answers to manhood. Is a true measure of man found in upholding one's strong societal expectations or in the courage to redefine what it means to be a man on one's own terms? This exploration seeks to unravel the layers of masculinity, challenging us to consider whether conforming to the norms truly serves or not, or in the bargain, are we losing ourselves? Prayer is a key that unlocks the door to divine guidance, peace, and inner strength. Now, I would like to call upon Riban and team to lead us into the prayer. Let the words of prayer resonate within each one of us, giving us peace, strength, and courage to what lies ahead. Thank you, Riban and team, for that soulful prayer. The upcoming performance poses a challenge to the traditional norms of gender roles by exploring the divine balance of Lord Shiva and Parvati. Without a further ado, let's move on to the performance. Let's welcome Sushmita from 3rd BA to enthrall us with her performance.
जटाटवीगलज्जल प्रवाह पावितस्थले कलेवलम्ब्य लम्बितां भुजङ्गतुङ्गमालिकान्तमड्डमड्डमन्निनादवड्डमर्वयं चकार चण्डताण्डवं तनोतु नः शिवः शिवम् जटाभुजंग पिंगल स्फुरत्फणामणि प्रभा कदंब कुंकुमद्रव प्रलिप्त दिग्वधूमुखे मदान्ध सिन्धुर स्फुरत्वगुत्तरीय मेधुरे मनो विनोदमद्भुतं बिभर्तु भूत भर्तरि ॐ नमः शिवाय
everyone, and a warm welcome to all who are present here today for SOCIUS 3.0. SOCIUS started 3 years ago with a dream to smash stigmas that we carry as a baggage for most part of our lives. The young minds of the Department of Sociology, without any fear, one fine day decided that if not anything else, let us at least start talking of these stigmas. And believe me, the journey has not been easy, because we were trying to get people talk about stigmas and stereotypes, not in their closed rooms, but on public platforms. And yes, I'm glad we did not give up. And here we are standing today on the threshold of SOCIUS 3.0 to welcome you all to yet another season of talking, discussing, debating, and breaking yet another stigma shrouding masculinity and manhood, to be or not to be, questioning manhood. Amidst us, we have today people on the dais who resonate the same thoughts of smashing stigmas. I welcome our chief guest, Ms. Cecilia Govius, Controller of Examinations, School of Social Work, Roshni Nilaya, Mangalore, for accepting our invitation. Ma'am is someone who has always walked the talk with her students in her long teaching career, supporting them and being with them. No wonder, for years, Ms. Cecilia has been one of the favorites among her students across batches. I owe a lot of my relationship building with students to her during my early days of my teaching career. Thank you, ma'am, for gracing the occasion. May I now request Reverend Dr. Praveen Martis, S.J., Vice Chancellor, St. Aloysius deemed to be University, to welcome Ms. Cecilia with a sapling. Thank you, Father. Not many have the courage to speak when they know they will be judged. Being non-judgmental and speaking one's mind out and breaking the stereotypes, it is what makes her special. I proudly present to you Ms. Babita Jaishankar, Speaker of the Day, who is the CEO founder, WSOL Fashion and Image Makeovers, lead designer for clothing brand Baja Lifestyle, and an image coach. And if this was any less, Babita is a celebrated TEDx speaker who speaks on themes unspoken. Thank you, Babita, for happily willing to come and help our students understand the most misunderstood perspectives of life. I request Dr. Alvin Desa, Registrar Autonomous, to present a sapling and welcome Ms. Babita Jaishankar, the Speaker of the Day. Thank you, sir. Behind the success of every institution is a visionary leader, and every leader who walks with the team is an extraordinary leader. The Department of Sociology is fortunate to have the presence of the extraordinary leader, Reverend Dr. Praveen Martis, S.J., Vice Chancellor, St. Aloysius deemed to be University, as the president of today's inauguration ceremony. I cannot but thank Father for believing in the department and its dreams, and just not believing, but supporting us in every possible way. He may be a man of science, but I remember Father, with all inquisitiveness, asking me, what is the theme of SOCIUS this year? This clearly breaks, and he clearly breaks the stereotype that science cannot be interested in arts. May I request Dr. Charles Furtado, Director, Admin Block, to welcome Father with a sapling. Thank you, sir. SOCIUS 3.0 is elated to have a support system which is unmatchable in the form of Dr. Alvin Desa, Registrar Autonomous, who not only encourages us by his words, but walks out of his comfort zone to even be a part of our promos. Sir, your cameo in our promos has gone viral. Thank you so much for that. Every time I would be wondering if the department can do something, all that he would do is smile and say, do it. Of course you can do it. And yes, sir, we are doing it. We managed to do it. So we welcome you, Dr. Alvinder, sir. A heartfelt warm welcome to Dr. Charles Furtado, Director of Admin Block. Sir, that one question you asked the students and me, when is SOCIUS happening? And saying, absolutely, I will be there, clearly showed that we have your complete support. Welcome, sir. Dr. Rosvita D'Souza, Dean, School of Arts and Humanities, a woman with a strong voice who believes in the power of breaking stereotypes and questioning the social norms. Ma'am, you've been an inspiration to the department. A warm welcome to you too. On behalf of the Department of Sociology, I extend a warm welcome to students across faculty, BA, BBA, BCom, BCA, and BSc from St. Aloysius deemed to be university, who are present here in huge numbers. You guys make us feel that SOCIUS is an awaited annual event. I also welcome the students and staff from various PU colleges who are here to take part in the intercollegiate competitions to be held this afternoon. Also, I welcome the students from other degree colleges in the city, some of our former students of the Department of Sociology who are here, and of course, I welcome our lovely and encouraging faculty who are all here for the talk. A warm welcome to the press and media for being here for today's event. Once again, a heartfelt welcome to everyone here and hoping we all go back with learning, fun, and most importantly, food for thought, to be or not to be, questioning manhood.
Thank you, ma'am, for that warm welcome. Life is a mirror and will reflect back to thinkers what he thinks into it. To inaugurate this groundbreaking ceremony, we have something unique in store. I request everybody to move forward for the inauguration ceremony. Thank you, everyone. Now, I request our co-convener Ankesh to introduce our chief guest, Ms. Cecilia F. Govyas, the controller of the examination from Roshni Nilaya, the School of Social Work, to the audience.
I am privileged and honored to introduce to you the chief guest of the day, Cecilia F. Govyas. Cecilia F. Govyas has pursued excellence and leadership throughout her academic and professional journey. As an undergraduate Agnesian, she developed a passion for economics, which led her to complete an MA in economics with an specialization in econometrics from Mangalore University. Her distinguished career as an educator began soon after. Currently, Professor Govius holds the prestigious position of Registrar at School of Social Work and leads the Economics Department. In every role, Ms. Govius has championed student empowerment. As ICUF animator, student welfare officer, NCC officer, and IC nodal officer, she has spearheaded initiatives that enrich the learning experience. Her tenure as IQAC coordinator has enabled her to influence quality improvement strategies at an institutional level. Beyond her home institution, Ms. Govius continues to lead through academic associations. She has served as Joint Secretary and Treasurer of Mangalore University Economics Association, and at present serves as the General Secretary of Association of Mangalore University Economics Association. Students and peers admire Professor Govius for her intellectual rigor and compassionate approach. Her dedication spans her decade-long career as she continues to find new ways to guide young minds to reach their potential.
Praveen Martus SJ, the Vice Chancellor of St. Aloysius deemed to be University, is a leader with vision par excellence. He has always shown utmost support to the department and encouraged the student fraternity. Now, I call upon our Vice Chancellor to deliver his presidential address.
Respected Dr. Cecilia Govius, the Chief Guest of the SOCIUS-3, the Control of Examinations, School of Social Work, Roshan in Nilaya, Ms. Babita, the keynote speaker, Dr. Alvin Desa, the registrar, Dr. Rosevira, the Dean of School of Arts and Humanities, Dr. Charles Furtado, the Director of Admin Block, the student conveners, Dr. John Rita O'Brien, the HOD of the Department of Sociology, and the student conveners, Ms. Nida and Mr. Ankesh, and my dear members of the faculty, the guests of the days, and my dear students. Today we are here for the SOCIUS-3, to be or not to be, questioning manhood. Already our chief guest has spoken very well and also opened up the subject for discussion. When the name came as to be or not to be, I asked one of the students, what do you understand that? Have you heard this name before? Immediately said, yes, I heard it from Shakespeare. Okay, then you are so over enthusiastic. Which part of Shakespeare? He said, helmet. Have you heard about helmet? Then I thought when you said today's very topic, I may have to come with the helmet because Shraddha was there carrying with the helmet. I said manlyhood, maybe you'll have to come with that. And you have seen the inaugural there, how we destroyed the manhood. I think it is not helmet anymore, it's Hamlet. Hamlet is a nice place, it's a little village. And that is where I think we can start off with, where we begin our conversations in a little place, how the manhood has been defined. Always as the Dr. Cecilia beautifully put it across. The man means the strength, the courage, because of the physical stature that he has. But we only see the physical stature, we don't go beyond it. They say the physical part of a human is only about 15 to 20%, even less than that. It's more of a mind. Actually, that is where we are, who we are, either a man or a woman. So that is where today we need to question, because sociologically we have many norms, and we have somehow been having that stigma to know someone based on their physical stature. But I think it has to be questioned, because we are in the 21st century. The patriarchy has been very strong, and then there was a feminism which was equally strong, to see the other side where they were not given equality. Now we are coming back to the balanced approach. I think the balanced approach is important. There are a lot of psychologists who have spoken about it. I think one of the greatest psychologists who has spoken about this is Carl Jung. Carl Jung spoke about both. In a human being, you got this equal aspect. The man can sometimes become a woman in terms of his emotions, and woman also can take up the emotions of a man, because this is part of a human being. Somehow where it goes, sometimes it varies from one side to the other. But we need to balance it out and understand within our own system, our own thoughts and emotions, where we are and how we really react to it. But in general, reactions are stereotypical. We bound to go the way that we are nurtured as a human from our childhood. I think that is where we need to really understand and go back deeper and see how we can nurture ourselves as a man or a woman, and how we become that and how we question that. And that's the part of the work that is sociology department takes it, as Dr. Cecilia put it across, is a mother of all the humanities, because sociology questions the norms and helps us to understand. The change has to be constant. Somehow the change is not constant. For years together, we have been following one kind of a norm. True education, yesterday we celebrated Teachers' Day. True education is not just giving information. Unfortunately, we have been giving only information as part of education. Education is much more than that. I think that's why we have to get out of these four walls where we are taught theoretically something and we memorize the same thing that is taught, and without questioning we answer it and we think that we have done well. I think that has to be questioned. We need to do research. We need to come out of these four walls and say what we are. We need to express. We need to express as human. Male has to express as human his emotions freely without being judged. Similarly, woman has to do that. That's why the question is to be or not to be. I would like to congratulate the Department of Sociology for organizing this wonderful seminar. Because these are the topics which are in a way considered very sensitive. People do not like to talk about, but our department actually has taken it up. So shown that courage to talk these things openly in the public domain, and that is where the students get benefited. And students also learn how to question this, why to question, and when we move forward, where we are. Otherwise, we'll be having that bandwagon effect. You know this bandwagon effect where everyone believes in something similar. And we have done that. A lot of experiments have been taking place. And one experiment or one thing that happened recent times was about WhatsApp. We all say good morning in the morning, isn't it? And some like this good morning, wishing very happy birthday. So there was a group of students, after some 20 years in the college, they would continuously text it. And one day there was a birthday of another colleague of theirs. So there was a wish in the morning saying that happy birthday to you. So some people in the group have opened the WhatsApp, and they continuously said, yes, happy birthday to you, and it went on. And by the time it came around 12:30 in the afternoon, one of the group members' family, somebody passed away. So he put this message saying that, like in my family, someone passed away. And people started putting the message continuously saying that condolences to you. And those who opened in the afternoon, they had not seen the morning message. They didn't know what to do. They started saying condolences without knowing there was a birthday of someone, because they all followed someone texting it. By the time some people had not opened, and in the evening somebody opened and knew that there was a birthday and did not know something that happened. So he thought, why not mix it both? Happy birthday to someone, and also at the same time the condolences. And again, after some time, people started making the same thing. Everybody started joining and saying that happy birthday and condolences. You know, by around 11 o'clock, two of them left the group. It is obvious. Both of them felt really angry and frustrated, like these people in the group didn't understand us. So this is called bandwagon effect. We just follow certain norms perpetuated by somebody. And that continues without asking any questions. That happens anywhere. They have done this experiment also in a place where they were waiting for the doctor. And purposely to see, there were actors, some 6 of them were actors, and somebody was sitting there. They started getting up, ringing a bell after every 2 minutes, just to see what happens to another person who is not in the acting at all, has just come waiting for the doctor. They acted as if they are waiting for the doctor and giving a bell every minute. And these would get up. After some time, this person also looks at them and gets up without knowing why it is so. And these actors move, and then the real person is seated there. The next person comes, and every bell, this person gets up, that person also gets up. So something similar that is happening in our society. I think that's where the sociology plays a major role to really break them. That's why I would like to congratulate them for that wonderful idea today to inaugurate. Breaking with the chain, unfortunately it didn't break. The chain came out. But then we broke the manhood there. I think that is what need to be. I think we need to break that stereotypical idea of our society without questioning. Simply follow what was done in the past, or someone who is dominant, who works on it, and then we simply follow these kind of structures. I think there's a time for us, and I'm grateful that these kind of seminars are organized at St. Aloysius deemed to be university. I would like to thank the Department of Sociology, and also I see the students from different departments. They're not only from sociology. I could identify the students from science, students from commerce, and students from various other departments who are here. So let us understand it better, because under NEP, we are again breaking this stereotypical idea of silos. We can't study anything in silos. We'll have to study something together. Then only we'll understand things better, so that all of us can live a better human being, as a better human being, and also not to go with the conformity with the society at times, but then question that and change the society and become change agents. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you, Father. Here, I come across a quote where Pope Francis says, "Rivers do not drink their own water. Trees do not eat their own fruits. Sun does not shine on itself, and flowers do not spread their fragrance for themselves. Living for others is a rule of nature. We are all born here to help each other, and our Vice Chancellor is a living example for it. Thank you, Father, for that enriching our knowledge." Now, I would like to call upon Ms. Babita de Souza, the Assistant Professor from the Department of Sociology, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Respected guests on the dais and off the dais, I deem it a privilege to propose the vote of thanks on this SOCIUS 3.0 2024. This auspicious morning witnessed eminent guests, Ms. Cecilia, COE, School of Social Work, Roshni Nilaya. Thank you for sharing your expertise and experience with us. You have helped us to redefine manhood. Your insights have broadened our understanding and inspired us to think critically. Thank you, ma'am. I request Vice Chancellor to hand over our token of appreciation to the chief guest. Thank you, Father. Any event probably cannot be a success if you do not have very good speakers. We are really lucky to have Miss Babita. Ma'am has come all the way from a distant place to share her knowledge and expertise. Thank you for being with us today. We appreciate you, ma'am, wholeheartedly. Our sincere thanks to Dr. Praveen S.J., our vibrant and dynamic Vice Chancellor. In spite of all the busy schedules, he has taken time to be with us today and delivered his presidential address. Your motivation helps us to conduct many more SOCIUS. Thank you, Father. If you want to shine like the sun, burn like a fire. This quote by Abdul Kalam is very much applicable to all our eminent personalities on the dais. In spite of all the responsibilities, they are always with us. Our sincere thanks to our Registrar, Dr. Alvin Desa, Director, Dr. Charles, Dean, Dr. Rosevira. We appreciate your simplicity and encouragement in all our departmental programs. We are, of course, glad to have staffs from different departments, different institutions to witness SOCIUS 3.0. You are the backbone of our success. Thank you. We remain grateful to our media staffs, maintenance staffs, organizers, volunteers for making this event a reality. Your dedication and commitment are truly appreciated. Learning gives us the wings to fly, but it is the practice that makes us soar. Yes, you students and participants from different institutions, you are really lucky that you are blessed with opportunities wherein you can explore and soar high. Today, we thank you for your support towards SOCIUS 3.0 2024. You have made SOCIUS a resounding success. Let's work together to achieve greatness and make a positive impact. Once again, a big thanks.
Can you hear me? Yes. So, one thing, I'm just putting few things in place before we start. So I get very excited when I talk about something which is close to heart. So you can raise your hand and I will slow down, okay? So that's one thing that you can do. Just ask me to just slow down and not get excited. Just calm down and I'll do that. And I'm not very good with slides. Okay, I'm a person who talk a lot, but not good with slides. Don't judge my slides. So that is just for me to have a flow and stick to the topic. Otherwise, I just get too carried away. And yes, so putting this was very, very close to heart because these are the sessions that I take closed doors. Right? I talk to boys, men, as part of my consultation being an image coach, and these are mostly closed doors in private sessions. And today, I'm here talking to you, and I think this is the best age that we can talk about this now because you have seen every side or every aspect of this. So I think you are at the best place at the best time. And thank you for everyone here who have organized and taken up this as part to discuss and start a discussion. Okay? So one thing which I would also say in all my introduction is, yes, I'm an image coach, I'm a lifestyle coach, and one major thing which happened was also I am an energy healer. So you would understand why energy healing when I go through the whole slide. Because there was some part of human, when I'm doing coaching or when I'm consulting, some part of it which I couldn't just explain. And that is where the energies came in. And I'll let you know, the dance was, I think, the perfect example of that, because that showed us that masculine and feminine energy together. So we'll touch upon that, and we'll see how important that aspect is to us. And this is also a topic, being a parent to two girls, where I am talking to my girls to be financially independent, to break down the gender roles. I don't get a chance to talk to boys as a parent, but being here, I think I am doing that too. So I'm pretty happy to take the other side of the gender role, right? So this is quite exciting. Can we go to the next slide? Where is the slide? Okay. So, did you notice that? Because I made a blunder there. It's Ayushman, right? It's not Anshuman. So the spelling mistake happened there. This was, so I think most of us heard this poem, because this came out during the Calcutta rape, when that happened is when this poem came out. And that really hit my soul, because one line in that was, "Kash un purushon mein striyon ki komalta hoti." I don't know if you can understand the depth of it. So somebody is asking if those men who did that had the feelings or the delicate tenderness of women in them, then this wouldn't have happened. And that is something very serious we need to think about, right? So this was one poem which I felt was quite recent and quite made a very big impact. So this is, "Jhalli bankar daudti uठती, सारी रात दोस्तों के साथ फिरती, काश मैं भी लड़का होती, काश उन पुरुषों में भी थोड़ी सी स्त्रीपन की कोमलता होती, काश मैं ही लड़का होती." So where a girl is wishing that she could be a boy, and we don't know what boys go through, right? So this was something to start the whole conversation with. Can we go to the next one? Okay, next. So I'm a science student, okay? So anything will start with, and I'm very happy that we have people from every department here, because that's how I think we can connect. And this is a topic I think all of us here are old enough. I'm not talking to kindergartners, thankfully, so I can do this here. And this was an amazing article. If you have not read this, I would definitely ask you to read this. This was Emily Martin's article, where she talks about how science has depicted that whole egg and sperm story as a romantic story, where they fed to us the stereotyped role. And please do that and see how excitingly they have put, or how innocently they have put in there, and that lead our mindset to stereotyping. So this whole article, where she talks about how egg is depicted, where an egg is depicted like a princess who needs to be saved, okay? And the sperm is depicted as a knight who comes with, riding on a horse and takes the egg away, kind of a thing. But if the researchers now, when they research, there is absolutely nothing like that. the sperm and the egg play an equal role, right? They both have the same equal adhesive molecule, and no one is greater than the other. But our patriarchal mindset had to depict that man comes with, or the sperm comes with a sword, and the egg is like those princes in a dungeon. So this is how the stereotypical thing is being fed from childhood, or when you go to school, when you do your research, when you study science or anything. Subtly, that is ingrained to us. So if we don't, so this article was out there to just show you how important it is to keep your mind open and be mindful about what exactly is being written there and what exactly you're taking back from there, right? So the next. So this is something which on a daily basis I talk to my clients with, or the clients that thankfully now in this generation have started coming out to talk, to at least start a discussion. And I'm so glad. So my whole point here is just my opinion, and an opinion that I have derived through my work. So it is nothing fictional I'm talking about, it's very practical. I've been doing this for ages now, so I thought this is the best platform to, let it out here. So the first thing was, the toughening up part. How many of you as a child were not allowed, the first day of school, you will be going and you're crying out for your moms and dads, and you were told, don't cry, because you're a boy, right? You have to toughen up. And that was, I think, the way it started from that day itself, that you cannot be crying. You cannot cry because you are you are born tough. The household chores aren't for men. I think this is more of a life skill now than what we talk about, the household chores are not for men, right? Heterosexuality and homophobia. Because straight men were considered more strong and everybody else were lesser than them. So this was also ingrained, the hatred towards everyone else was ingrained in them, that okay, you cannot be, if you are straight, you are strong, and that's the way to be a man. To endure violence, I think that was the major thing. You can get beaten up, but you cannot still talk about it. You cannot feel sad or sorry for yourself because you have to endure that violence. Hypersexuality is one addiction which we've been talking about a lot through the sessions that happens. And we'll go there, we'll really go there. Emotional restriction, because again, you are not allowed to talk about emotions. Boys, you cannot talk about your emotions. That's what you were told. Social teasing. So there are these gatekeepers who will come and beat you up because if you are emotionally feeling something for somebody else, or you're empathetic, and there will be group of boys, other group of boys that can come and beat you up because you cannot be doing that. So social teasing was one big aspect which was a part of the rule itself for being the man. Provider, they are supposed to be the provider, but are not supposed to be the caregivers. So you can be providing for your child as a man, but you cannot be taking care of your child. So you're not man enough if you are taking care of the child. If you change the diaper, you're not man enough. That was one social thing which was happening, right? They have to be strong, muscular, and all aggressive. So if you see also, like when we say a man is pumping, all that bottled up energy which you feel for yourself because you are not able to release it anywhere else. So do that. And I think the world is healing because we saw this. This is a painting by Ajin Mohan, and I really, really loved it because these are real life people out there, men out there who have been going out against the stereotypical world, where that is a ballet dancer from India, the first picture. And I'm so proud of that because we never thought a ballet dancer from India because it was so much considered to be a women's space, right? A caregiver, a father being the caregiver. So we have these real life examples out there, and he has painted it all out for that. So this is pretty much that I had to say, and this is the last line that I want to say, and it may reflect with all of you here, and if you can put down few lines for yourself, where you're not talking about your gender, where you're talking about your authentic you. So here I am standing up and saying, yes, I am ambitious, dominant, and outspoken, but I am also playful, loving, nurturing, and wear my heart on my sleeve. I am whole, and so are you. Thank you.
Tell them, how are the counseling sessions going on? Is it easy to convince them to be, try to be calm, hug a tree, or, as you told, go to a dance class? Because they are, brought up like that. So is it, easy to change them? That's my question. Thank you.
So that's a pretty good question because so how counseling or how coaching works is if the coachee is not ready. If a person who you think that needs counseling is not ready, because there are a lot of men who would come up and tell me their wife really needs some styling lessons. There are a lot of women who would come up and tell that, okay, there are, husband need some counseling session. No, it doesn't happen like that. So if a person doesn't decide or think that they need help, it won't work. Because if they are not in the receiving end, you cannot be at the giving end too, right? If it's not received, then it is of no use. So no, you cannot work with people who have not seen that as a weakness. At some point, they may see it as a weakness, but otherwise, they may just grow up alone. That's all.
Hello, ma'am. So my question for you is, according to the research you've done and the understanding you've gained throughout your career, why do you think a distinction in genders came about, and what is the need for this distinction and for these roles to continue in present times?
Like I was saying, if you go back to, I didn't want to start with the history part because I know all the students here would have done the history part, but the history shows that, we as an Indian, so I will take as Indian, the whole thing as, it was very androgynous. We were there were no gender roles to start with. They were all equal. But then the colonization started. The Victorian era started, right? And that's where the gender role became very, very strong because men had to be going to the war and women need to be staying back at home and caring for the kids, working in the fields. So they wanted, that two distinct kind of people because the work was shared. And they needed men to be going out and fighting. So that gender role was started with that. So I know there is no need now, but we have to break through, right? Somebody has to start with that, and I think a lot of us are starting with that. So we are talking about this. This itself is a good start, right? We are talking about boys having a boys group to talk about it. It's an amazing start, right? So I think it's a good thing that we are at least talking about it. And somewhere down the line, we'll surely, that's the reason I was also quoting that poem where we are talking about how important it is to let men feel their emotions, right? To feel that delicateness, to feel that. So I think we are doing a good thing. Yeah.
Hi, ma'am. My name is Veena. May I ask you this question that, could you explain what is an image coach is all about? Is it like external operation on a personality or like character, internal operation on a person? Can you explain your experience as well on being an image coach? Thank you.
So that's the reason I said where I went into the learning of, so I'm a master energy healer, so what they call as. So what happened was, when I am just talking about image, most of the time people do think it is the clothes or the brands that you wear. So that is a stylist job. I do the styling part also, where I am just figuring out what a person should be wearing or what colors the person should be wearing. But then image goes beyond that, where I have to understand the strength and the weakness of the person. I am also not manipulating a person's personality. I'm not doing to do that because it sounds very fake. But I will tweak a person where needed. So that's why the energy is needed. That's why the self-care gets opened up. That's where sustainable living gets opened up. That's where healthy eating habits get opened up. That's where sometimes affirmations gets opened up. So depending on what a person is or person is looking for, it is tweaked according to their needs. So we do work on the inside part first. So the inside part is the first thing that you work on, because the outside part is very easy to work with. Yeah.
How is it if a man comes to you and he needs a grooming? I mean, his entire style needs to be changed. Because in the Indian context, men have a typical sense of dressing. Yeah. Which showcases their, the colors, the way the cuts, everything, their facial, maybe whatever style, they have that image. So how do you work in bringing it to a balanced way? Because when we're talking today, what we're talking about is the balanced look or the balanced personality or the character. So how do you convince a man that it's okay to wear a pink color or a floral shirt, or to go and do your facial eyebrows or shave off your mustache? I mean, how do you go about that?
So there was this call that I received, I think it was few years back, where this man calls me up and he says, he was very meek when he started to talk about, because there was a lot of hitch in, he was thinking like, should I talk or should I not talk? It was an anonymous call that came in. So this guy is a wonderfully well-to-do engineer in one of the biggest MNCs. And he calls me up and he says, daytime, he goes to the office because that is expected, that he's a man and he dresses up in a proper way. But evening, he wants to explore his feminine side. So I've been working with him on, so there is no judgment there. Absolutely no judgment, because that's what he wants to explore and that's what he will explore. We have gone out together and got dresses as a lady. So we have got purchases done with that. So my job as an image coach is not to restrict what they feel or what they want to explore. Because that, my role as an image coach is to understand or make them also understand the authentic them, right? Who they are. So working with, so sometimes it may go off the balance, right? But it is what they are also sometimes looking for. So It's absolutely okay to explore, because this was coming from a man who said, I'm sharing with you that I have not shared it with my parents. I cannot share it with my parents because I know they won't understand me. And I'm thankful that you understood, right? So I think that somebody has to be out there to listen to that too, right? So yeah, that was something which, I don't know if I answered your question.
Hello, ma'am.
Yeah.
So, ma'am, you were talking about, energy healing, affirmations and all. We girls, I didn't even knew about affirmations and energy healing before Corona. After that, the phone, all that, everyone was into self-care and all. And, once we got back to school, like for me, I'm in 12th now. So when I got back to school in 9th, that's when we used to meet people in person. Everyone is changing and all.
Yes.
When we used to tell, among girls, when we used to talk about it, everyone was very enthusiastic. But in boys, they even if they know about it, they don't want to talk about it. And the main thing is the color pink, ma'am. If you see, like, when you're an image makeover and you do all that stuff, right, ma'am? Like, if you give clothes and all to guys, they are always like, we are not much into clothes. But when they wear clothes also, they're like, pink nahi pehna hai mujhe. Nahi, ladkiyon ka color hai. Why is that, ma'am?
So, so I do this color analysis, right? So, and there is a messaging that every color has. So when I go for these college sessions where they are just going for interviews, so there is this one session which I take, which is for the color part. Okay, so pink is a color which I generally don't recommend women to. Okay, I'm not saying women on a daily basis. I'm not talking about that. I am talking about for an interview session. See, pink is a color which lets you feel the delicate. Where I would say, if you are an HR, it's a good color to have because it lets other people open up to you, talk to you. It's a good color, right? But pink is also not a color which makes you stand out. It's a very delicate color. But instead of that, the purple and every time I do these sessions for corporates and people come back and say that we start seeing so many purples out there. And that color is something, it's for men and for women. So if you see, when I say purple, I'm not even talking about the darkest purple. I'm talking about the lightest lilac, a lavender. It can be anything. But if you see how the colors originated is when you go back in history. So a purple color was the color for the royals because color indigo was so difficult to get. So only royals could wear purples. So it still have that. So purple is a color which is very individual, very strong, and people who are in the team leader positions, I ask them to wear purple. It's a leader's color. So colors have their own thing. It's not just for men or women, but it is also what you are planning to say on that particular day. Colors help you, like the green that you're wearing, right? Green is a color which is, we ask people to wear on a Monday. You know why? Because it gives you that energy to get up and go start your week. It is a restorative color which gives you that energy. If you have glasses, I don't know how many people, when you first time when you wear glasses and you were asked, go look at the greenery because it heals you. But green is also a color which we tell people not to wear on the day that they have to negotiate their pay. Or if they have to go to a bank for asking loan. Because green is a color which says, I'm not ready to take a risk. So colors have amazing messages that it gives out. So it's just how you use your colors, where you use it. That's how. So pink is pink, purple is purple.
So, colors have their own history.
Yes.
And they have their own meaning She's a color specialist, so I will not get too much into it. But yeah, if you want to break the stereotype, I know I asked my boys today to wear pink,
yes.
and the girls to wear blue, and the boys blatantly on my face refused. We will not.
No, but if you also go back in history, the pinks were meant for boys. So go check in the, check your history. Pink was meant for boys and blue was meant for girls. And it changed.
I need to tell this to my 8-year-old son who refuses to wear anything pink. He says that's too girlish. Please give it to your daughter.
Yeah.
So I need to tell him this. Thank you.
Yeah. There's a green shirt. Exactly.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
My name is Abhinav. So I just have this question that most of the boys with me, I live in a hostel, so I get to contact with many of my boys.
Boys, yeah.
So most of us have some kind of this emotional barrier which doesn't let us to express our emotions even though we want it. Even though we want to express our emotions, even though we feel depressed, we just wear it off with a smile on our face that we don't have any worries. Even though we have a lot more on our backs, but we just don't, we don't know how to express it. We haven't been brought up that way to express our emotions. We have been just, you're a man, so you can't express anything, you just need to be tough.
Yes.
So that's the kind of way we have been brought up, and even though we want to express our emotions, even though we want to hug someone and cry, one thing is we don't have anybody to hug and cry and express our feelings and talk about emotions. And the other thing is we don't know how to do it. So how can we change this? How can we learn how to express our emotions? So that's my question.
Yeah, it is also sometimes, how we grew up. Because if we have not seen our parents hugging each other, right? Or when somebody is moving out, we are not hugging and crying, then I think it becomes very difficult for us to learn. Because we always learn by seeing. So one thing which you have to start with is maybe to start hugging a person whom you know, right? Who is not going to judge you. So hug, I think, or even start with, some animals out there, have some pets at home. I just feel like because we have never felt that, how it feels to give love or share that love or physical love, right? So that becomes a barrier to even start with. So somewhere we'll have to break that thing and then start with. And I would also say anonymously sometimes, writing down the concerns and then sharing, like without the names out there, right? And then everybody puts in a pool and then start talking about it because somewhere it will start. I have seen this anonymous post which gets a lot more response because the person wants to stay anonymous. And maybe with friends, you can start anonymous post. A days when you are putting everybody, concern in a jar and just picking it up and randomly talking about it. So maybe you'll figure out a solution there. Maybe a person will start talking about it, right? So maybe a person will start crying. You never know.
Questions? Any more? We can take one more last question. Okay. No? Okay, in that case, I think we will wind up here. Thank you, Babita, for patiently answering all those questions. And we here hope that this is a start for us to question a lot of things around us, and not just to question, but look for those answers and bring about a change. And change doesn't come until we change ourselves, we change our outlook. So the change has to begin with us, and only then we can expect a change around us. So thank you everyone here today for the talk. I thank these students, especially of St. Aloysius deemed to be University, for registering in large numbers.